Annyeong, it's Mikey here. And guys, thank you so much for all the positive messages and the support that you guys provided in the ALAD video and the really supportive and positive comments. I truly appreciate it and I thank you guys so much. It's really amazing to see what the community's been saying. And of course, I'm not going to give up, guys. I'm not giving up and I'm going to keep pushing through and, of course, make more videos and keep pushing at it. Now, today I want to thank Epomaker because they sent me out their Tide 49. Now, this is a 40% board. I've tried one 40% board so far, so let's see what this one's like. So let's go straight into the unboxing, and please make sure to like and subscribe.
Now, starting off with the unboxing of the Tide 49. Thank you again, Epomaker, for sending me this out. This is a 40% keyboard that I'm actually really interested in trying out. Now, I did try one out before. Epomaker sent me out their Epomaker TH40, and then when I saw this one, I really wanted to try this out. This one seemed really interesting, and of course we're going to open this up and take a look. So of course, in Epomaker fashion, we get an accessories box and it's going to have a cable in there. It's a really basic cable. We also get a keycap puller and switch puller, and of course we actually get tools for this. So we also get a really big manual that has all like the things that you need in there. It was really interesting that they actually provided a screwdriver and the hexagonal one so that you can actually open this up. So really cool. Looking at this board, we're gonna open this up, take it out, and see what it's like. Now, this board looks really nice. Gotta admit, love the design, love the color schematics that they chose. Really, Epomaker is upping their game in terms of design and just pure aesthetics. Like, they're really doing a great job. I'm loving this board here right there. As you can see right there, there was a lot of flex. Felt amazing. Of course, we're gonna have to actually weigh this board now before we go into a sound test, and this thing is gonna weigh about 938 grams. So, of course, we're going to use the tools they provided this time to actually open this up. There's going to be something that I want to show you guys beforehand, which is going to be removing the keycaps. I want to show you guys if this has a flex cut, which you can kind of see here, but I'm going to remove a little bit more keycaps to show you guys fully. So there is flex cuts in the plate. This is an FR4 plate, but there is going to be some flex cuts in the plate. Honestly, I could have done without them, but it is available. Now, I want to show you guys more into this board. I was going to show you guys the stabilizers, but actually I think it's better if I open this up first to be able to show you guys the stabilizers. But this has 4 screws, so you have 2 on each side, and they actually provide you the hexagonal tool to be able to open it up. Sorry, I can't think of the name right now. I'm really lacking a lot of sleep at the moment. This is the top casing. It's fully gasket mounted for this board, and as you can see here, like the 2.5 millimeter thickness is actually incorrectly measured. It's not going to be 1.5 on each side, so we're looking at 1.5 on all the sides. It's a decent thickness, and you can actually put it either way. It's perfectly symmetrical up and the bottom of it. Now we're going to move the cables, of course, to take a look inside and see more inside of this board itself. Now, as you can see, the bottom of the case there, It's actually pretty decently thick. So we have a 9.7 on the top end and then 4.5 on the bottom end. So it is angled slightly. You also get that 3000 milliamp hour battery, which is really nice. In a small board like this, you're getting a battery and wireless. Really well done. I'm loving that mirror on the back as well. This really gives me a lot of like the P series vibe. And it's called Tide, but it's really giving me a P series vibe. Now, as you can see here, it is going to be plate mounted stabilizers. It is actually coming pre-lubed, and definitely with the split space bars, less tinging. Now, we can see there that that is going to be the foam for the back of the PCB. It comes with a static sheet as well. And of course, I want to give you guys a sound test without any foam as well. But let me just measure this foam real quick, and it's about 2.2 millimeters. So now I'm going to mod this board, but I was thinking really honestly, this board doesn't need any modifications. When you get this, if you just lube the switches, it's really perfect. But what is my channel without any modifications? So what we're going to do is do a 1-layer tape mod. And then with that 1-layer tape mod, we're going to see if there is any difference in terms of the sound. We're only doing 1 layer, don't think you need any more than that. And then we're going to put that foam on the back of it and then put this all back together. So it's very simple to put back together. We're just going to put all the cables back in, close it. And of course, I want to give you a full modded sound test. I'm not even going to have to modify the space bars because as I told you, having it split, it's really nice.
Now, we've done the sound test, we've done the modifications, we've done everything, like the teardown. Honestly, this board sounds really great. Like, it sounds really, really good. It's like a creamy sound almost to this board, surprisingly, when I know with the Zebra switches and all the other P series boards that I've tried, they were more on like the thok to clack side. Of course, depending on the board and like everything you're doing, the sound's gonna be different. I'm in love with the sound of this board and the feel of the typing of this board. I think I'm going to be using this board almost as like a daily for work wise. It's going to take some time to get used to, of course, but let's go straight into like the more details of the software and like the modifications I did in terms of like VIA and the layers so that you guys can see how you can use this board and the things that I suggest and the tips I can provide you guys from my personal use of this board. So let's go straight into that one.
So going in more in depth, a look of this board. This is a beautiful design. I love the color aspect and the design of it. The CNC is really well done on this board, incredibly smooth. This really gives me a lot of like the P series vibe. They did a great job on this one, honestly. Like that mirror on the back, it does gather fingerprints. It does get dusty. Keep that in mind for yourselves. And it's not easy to clean either. But this board is super nice. I'm really loving the layout of it and it feels really great. The spacebar and the button actually in the middle between the space bars is set as a space bar. So technically you have 3 space bars, but I'll show you guys later in the software how you can change things up and make things different. And that's one thing that's awesome about this board is it is VIA supported, so you can customize it so much, which is really nice. I love how like small it is and compact it is. Honestly, when I tried the TH40, I had a really hard time getting used to a 40% keyboard. This time around, I wanted to try it out again and do it a little bit better. So this time, it felt really nice with this one. I also love the fact that it has a USB dongle section where you can put it in. Imagine that a 40% can put in a USB dongle, can even have a switch on the top for wireless. Why can't bigger boards, right? I understand it's a design thing with the quick disassembly, and I had someone mention before how it's like an engineering change, but why not, right? It just makes things easier for people. The idea isn't about new cool designs and just something cool. It's also about how to make a board simple to use and effective. That's what it's all about, is to be able to use a board and enjoy it and not have to deal with a lot of frustrations. Now, I'm going to show you guys the actual switch of this board. This is the Zebra switch. So it's the Epomaker Zebra switch, and this is the switch that comes in the P series boards as well. I am not a big fan of the Epomaker Zebra switches personally. In this board, it actually works really well though. Gotta admit, in this board, it sounds amazing. Now I want to give you guys a little bit of a stem mobile test. So on the top end, there is some rattling. So keep that in mind for yourselves. Even though it's a box stem switch, at the top end, you will have rattling and you will have stem wobble. This is for both vertical and horizontal. As you can see, it's actually quite wobbly on this switch. Now on the bottom end though, when you push it all the way down, there is much less than the top end, but there is a little bit of wobbling, even though it's a box stem. Now, there's something I want to mention about this switch that is really, really, really bad. And I said really 3 times there. Do you see how I'm holding you a switch that's completely in separate parts? Yes. The Epomaker Zebra switch has a QC problem. Do you see how the top housing is broken? The prongs that would actually keep the switch, the top housing and the bottom housing together, is broken. This is an issue. Epomaker, if you're watching this, and I know that when I send this video to you, you guys are going to see this, please work on the QC for this switch or create a new version. This build quality of the switch is not good. And I didn't have just one switch break, I had multiple. Imagine if you get this board and your customer and more than one, but 3 or 4 break and they only provide you 2 extra switches. That is a really bad thing. So Epomaker, please work on that. Now, of course, I want to give you guys a backlighting test of this board. This board actually has something really quite interesting to it. One thing to note before I go into what's interesting is that the backlighting is not great. It's super dim. And we have to remember this, when I'm recording on a camera, the lighting that shows on the camera is different than what you see in person. In person is always brighter than on camera. The camera can only catch as much light as the sensor can possibly grab. The switches on these ones, you will see some lighting in person, but it is dim, right? You can barely see it in my camera here because the lighting is so dim. You have to be in a specific angle to see it. But the cool thing about this is that the keycaps are slightly shine through. And I think that is really cool. Though I bet it would have been cooler if it was actually brighter. Now, this is about 120 USD on Epomaker's website. For the build quality, the price I think is really justifiable. It is hot swap. It has tri-mode, right? It has this really nice CNC done on the aluminum casing. The structure of this plate is well done, though I wish it wasn't flex cut. That's just my own personal, thoughts. Honestly, I think they could have made this board a little bit more bouncy. It would have been really cool. But one thing that sucks is that they didn't actually provide the JSON link in the product page. If you Google Epomaker Tide 49 JSON, you can actually find it. But of course, I'll link it in my description for you guys as well. So once you download it, simple as that, you just have to make sure you find it and then go into the designer tab, load it in, and boom, you have it done. Now, as you can see here, I've already modified mine up a lot. You see how the spacebar is on the left, the middle it says M, and then the right spacebar says M. That's because I have it set for layers. Those are function keys. One thing you're going to notice when you use the 40% is you're going to really have to learn to use function keys a lot. You're going to have to layer them. As you can see here, I have layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. I'm working with 3 different layers because depending on what I'm wanting to do and how comfortable it is to move my fingers and where I'm wanting things to be, I need to memorize this. Memorizing this is not easy. It takes time, it takes practice. I've been using this for about like a week and I'm still not fully used to it, but I'm falling in love with it. See, when I first tried a 40% board, I really did not enjoy it. But I started to really enjoy it this time. Like layer 3, I only have arrow keys and I have it set so that my arrow keys is if I'm using just my left hand or I'm using my right hand. And I have it set in a way that it just works comfortably for me. The layer 1 has the numbers that I need, right? This is what I'm doing and using for work. This is also the reason why I really appreciate the fact that they used VIA. VIA means that I can set things up the way I need to. I have delete set up because I use delete a lot at work. And when it comes to, say, page up page, I don't use them, so I haven't set them up. Though, if I want to and I feel like I do need them, super easy to set up. There's certain things, of course, over time I will realize I need, and I can add them in really easily. And layers, you can also use toggle. So keep in mind, you can do toggles like toggle layer 1, where you just press it and it automatically goes to that layer. Let me give you an example of one. So if I go into layers and I set a toggle, I'm going to do toggle layer 3 for my spacebar, and then I'm going to go give you guys an example of me trying it out, right? Showing you how it actually works when you actually do the toggle, how it will actually show up in your board. Like you won't see it, but you'll see how it works functionally. So if I press the toggle 3 and I set it, you can see right there when I press the right spacebar and I use the arrow keys, it's actually doing the arrows. And I'm not holding the spacebar, I just pressed it once and it's automatically set. So this is something you can play around with VIA when you get this board. Now, using Keyboard Inspector, we're going to take a look to see also the polling rate. This is 1000 hertz, meaning it's more than enough for gaming. And I did use it for gaming and I was fine with it. Keep in mind, you don't need a crazy gaming keyboard to play video games. Hall effect boards and like crazy gaming keyboards is only useful for those that really, really want to play on a higher competitive level. This board, I completely fell in love with it. This is really going to become my daily driver for work-wise. And I'm really appreciating this whole build that they did. Not many companies out there are doing 40%, and I truly appreciate that Epomaker really made a high quality 40%. When I said high quality, I truly mean high quality. Like this board build, it feels incredible. It's super easy to carry around, right? It fits in one hand, so I can use one hand to carry it around very easily. Of course, it takes time to get used to. Keep in mind, it's gonna take practice. I'm still not used to it. I still make mistakes with my function rows, but in total, it is a super great board. I'll have the links in the description, and I really think you should check it out.
In total, this board, I'm in love with this board. Like the design of it, the feel of it, the typing experience. A 40% was not something that I thought I'd get used to or love using. I really like using this one, and I'm going to see what else I can do with this. It's going to be really interesting, of course, but one of the things to keep in mind, the zebra switches, the quality control. Epomaker, please work on that. As I mentioned in my review, the detailed look at it, it really needs work. It really needs to be improved. I know that Epomaker checks out my videos, every time I upload and I send it to them. Please fix the zebra switches. Please make sure the QC is done for them, because I had so many break on me, and I don't want any of my viewers that are getting this board to deal with that, or even if they're getting any other Epomaker board and have the zebra switches, that they're going to deal with that QC issue. So please, Epomaker, do the QC, please improve the switches, and please let it be that they won't break. Now, I thank you guys all for watching this video. Of course, go check out the other videos I got, and of course, I'll catch you guys next time.